This is In the Know for Friday, August 23, the 236th day of 2024. There are 130 days left in the year. Good morning, indeed. Guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Where's Quacky? We'll do the water cooler question. We got a Cougar Sports Report. Busy day. That and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Getting my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You are?
Yes.
Rolling Mach 9.5, 9 3/4.
It's been a lot. Yes.
I mean, the audience doesn't know you sat down about 45 seconds ago.
Yes, I did, and yes, I had to find the volume on.
I got you, and I did see that you also though took a deep breath and gathered yourself.
I
and
had
said,
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
you're here and you're ready.
Yes. And when you do the weather, I'm going to need another second or two. So.
All right. That sounds very good. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. Happy Tobacco Bowl Day.
Happy Tobacco Bowl Day to you. Football season begins. You got an intern pressing the buttons today?
Do I?
Yeah, do you have an intern pressing the buttons? I noticed some.
Yeah, I was responding to a message from Coach Jones, and I were exchanging a couple of text messages to plan for an interview, and it would just so happen that it was happening right at the start of the show, so I had to.
It just reminded me, I think in the movie Radio, it's Cuba Gooding Jr. and Ed Harris, and I think the football coach I think Ed Harris plays Coach Jones. I think that's because I can just hear the character Radio saying Coach Jones, Coach Jones, Coach Jones. So maybe Brian Jones had radio as a player at some point in time.
Yep, Harold Jones.
Harold Jones. Not congratulations on the outcome of the Bengals, but preseason football now is concluded for the Bengals. So they're finished with their 3 games, and now it's real games from here forward. Are you ready for the upcoming NFL season?
16 days.
16 days, apparently so, since you know the number of days until it's there.
Yes, 16
Also,
days till we orange out Paycor Stadium.
I did not mention to her, but as something you might be interested as well, because it might be something you can bring to your living room. Smell-O-Vision is coming to our homes.
Oh, goodness.
Something that Walt Disney, I don't know that he invented it, but he really tried. Walt Disney, in the early days, he was trying to make movies in the theater that then they would introduce certain fragrances into the theater to give you a better experience, and they do that still today at Disney World and Disneyland. But yes, an AI-powered device that releases real-time scents based on events within movies, TV shows, sporting events, and streams. The makers claim it brings the sense of smell to the home entertainment experience. It's not that hard. Those Pura boxes, a lot of people have the Pura things in their homes, and then you just coordinate those things so the smell of, okay, let's give them a poof of burning rubber, like when there's a car chase.
Yes, I mean, soaring is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so, yeah.
Be soaring around the world to your right in your living room. The weather forecast. I hope you enjoyed your fall because, your 2 days or almost 3 days worth of fall, because the low humidity was here, the lower temperatures were here. It was very pleasant. And now the heat returns. We'll step up today, and then we go up from here. We'll see summer heat and humidity returning today. The next 12 days, we're going to see, the next 12 hours, see highs in the 80s. Then the short term, we're going to see the heat wave beginning over the weekend. And the long term, we're going to get into a pattern of dry weather and heat that lasts through next week. So you can look all the way into the end of next weekend before we have a high in the 80s again. So highs in the 90s and dry. So we're going to start to dry out here as we make the turn for the month of September. I guess if you're trying to execute the 75th annual Grayson County Fair, you probably like the idea that there's not a heavy chance of rain, or at least certainly not a rain out. Might get an occasional shower or two, but so it looks like the dry conditions for that. Partly cloudy and 89 for today, partly cloudy, 67 tonight. And then for tomorrow, Saturday, partly cloudy and a high of 92. Last night wrapped up the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. It was Kamala night, and she, not surprisingly, accepted the nomination. And now both conventions are out of the way. So we've got, 75 days or something like that
What would have happened if she'd have been like, not interested?
Never mind. I've changed my mind. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they had Tim Walz stand in the waiting in the wings. So I did see. I guess, the conservatives and in particular Fox News, they start with a headline every day, with the, in workplaces they say it's been X number of days since we've had a workplace injury.
Yes.
Well, it's now day number blank, like 35 days since Kamala has answered reporters' questions. Like, she's done no interviews. And it's got to be strategic on their part. And I don't know what they're afraid of, her drifting into by taking journalists' questions. But surely she's going to have to do that. Surely they obviously have favorable media friends that they could at least go through the charade of an interview, but they haven't done that. Maybe they will now that the convention is beyond and they go back on the trail. It's, never mind, it's Friday. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell was in his hometown of Louisville. Do we call Louisville his hometown? He's actually born in Georgia.
Alabama, isn't he in Alabama?
Brett Guthrie was born in Alabama. I thought McConnell was Georgia, but you might be right.
Alabama.
Brett Guthrie was born in Alabama, so they both were?
Yeah, they're both.
Wow.
Yeah, they're both. Now, he may have grown up. No, he grew up in Athens, Alabama.
Okay.
Or is it Athens? Do they
maybe-
call it Athens down there?
I think I call it Athens. So
Okay.
We call it
I'm not
Athens,
sure,
but-
but you might be right.
Okay,
Stop at
he moved to Georgia in 1950. So we're both right.
I remember the story of him talking about growing up with polio in Georgia, and so he probably was raised there, born in Alabama, and so he was speaking to the Farm Bureau. They had their country ham breakfast yesterday, and he said, or they had their country ham breakfast. Yeah, it was yesterday, and he said the next occupant of the White House should be deterring America's adversaries. That issue should be front and center for the next president. So he gave a speech to, typically when we're in Washington, D.C. each year, Farm Bureau's there on that same weekend. And I know they carry a lot of sway, and they show up in mass, so it's not surprising that they would have him and come back and speak to them at the State Fair.
Did your bid fall short on the ham?
Came up just a few dollars short. The Crafts, Kelly Craft and what's his first name? I
Joe.
can't remember him. Joe and Kelly, $10.5 million. They bought the country ham this year for $10.5 million.
I was 10.5 million short.
18.2 pounds. It was produced by Broadbent B&B down in Catawba. So it's a Western Kentucky ham traveling to the State Fair. So for the previous 3 years, the Crafts and Central Bank combined their bids. In 2023, their combined winning bid was $10 million, but I think they went solo. I would just like to, I'm not even insisting that I get a bite. I mean, sure, it's 18.2 pounds and they have plenty to go around. I'm not even insisting on having a bite, but what I would like to know is I would like to watch them have a bite and just see if their expression, like what their expressions are when they take a bite of a $10.5 million ham. Does the look of euphoria come over there? Is there aura, some special, or do you,
No,
if
like,
you're
I can't
me,
even,
I take a bite and chew it and go,
it's ham.
I paid $10.5 million for a $40 ham.
Luckily for the Crafts, that'd be like us paying about $15 for a ham. So
Well,
maybe a little bit more than that, but
not that
they
drastic, but
they,
yes,
they got
they definitely.
maybe $100 or a couple $100. Like,
And obviously, it's a philanthropic effort for most of the people involved in that. So it's not like they're padding somebody's pockets with that. It's a charitable contribution in some way. So good for them. If you saw first responders en masse out yesterday afternoon, you might have wondered what's happened. Well, training has happened. Firefighters and other first responders spend many hours a year participating in continuing education. And last night, we had EMS and emergency management, the National Guard, Owensboro Health Twin Lakes, Clarkson PD, others involved in hazardous materials simulation. And the scenario was a scenario-based exercise. It was held in Clarkson, where a fictional hazardous material spill of organic peroxide contaminated several patients. So they went through, obviously securing the scene, triage, that whole thing. And so I like to know that they've gone through simulations like that. So when something happens, because sure, we might not have a hazardous chemical thing, but those same principles of who does what and being organized happen whether it's a traffic accident, whether it's a natural disaster, no matter what it is, fire, etc. So that's what was going on yesterday, late yesterday. A Grayson County teenager was airlifted after being blinded by the sun and pulling to the path of a large box truck. The SO, Falls of Rough Fire, Litchfield Fire, and Grayson County EMS and Emergency Management worked the crash at about 7:10 yesterday morning, the intersection of 79 and 54 at Short Creek. First responders found an 18-year-old female trapped in a Honda passenger car, and firefighters extricated her from the car. She was transported by EMS out to the airport, where they use that as a landing zone, where she was flown from the scene. That is a horrific-looking crash.
It is, it's terrifying.
A woman arrested multiple times on drug trafficking, burglary, and other charges has been nabbed with a large amount of methamphetamine in Ohio County. The sheriff's office there said that deputies were in the residence of the 500 block of Megan Road, that's about 5 miles west of Fordsville, attempting to serve papers when a Nissan Versa pulled into the driveway. Deputies approached the vehicle, spoke with the driver, detected a strong presence of marijuana, and then you might imagine things devolved from there. I guess if you're on the law enforcement side, they evolve because you're able to get an arrest. If you're on the perp end of that, you would say probably unraveled. A federal grand jury has indicted nearly 40 people from Owensboro, Utica, Louisville, Lexington, and California, and seized over 250 pounds of methamphetamine and 12 kilograms of cocaine during a wide-ranging investigation by federal and state law enforcement agencies. A federal grand jury back on August 6th handed down 5 indictments charging 37 total defendants. As I mentioned, Owensboro strings all the way to California, and I presume that's where the connection begins. Like if you follow the drugs to the area and then they spread out from here, there are a bunch of Kentuckians in here, but then my guess is the California connection that's where it was imported from most likely.
That's a lot.
5 different indictments, and they were grouped together in little pods. I don't think they're names that you necessarily would interest you. So, but hey, if you want to read 37 strangers' names, then go to K105.com and
you just don't want to read them all right now?
I don't really want to spend the time doing that. I mean, I thought I was, yeah. I'm in cruise control mode today, so just trying to get through it, and
I'm play games.
I'm ready to talk about the Cougar Sports Report coming up in a few minutes. But a week from tomorrow, we are going to kick off the UK football season. Southern Miss will come to K. Roger Field, and it will kick off the 2024-2025 campaign. I guess it's the 2024 campaign that hopefully, if you're a UK football fan, doesn't conclude until January of 2025. But in the spotlight over the last 24 hours has been Dane Key. Dane is in his 3rd year, and obviously if you're a fan of KSR, you know that Dane gets a lot of publicity there because of the connection to Ryan Lemon.
Don't say anything negative. He gonna come at you.
But this is a golden opportunity of a year. It's in his 3rd year. He's now in a place where he could jump to the NFL after his junior season if he plays extremely well. He's got a lot of upside potential. Clearly has a brother and a dad who played in the NFL. So you expect good things from Dane this season?
Well, I can't say anything negative because I don't want Ryan to text me. So
Okay. Well, you're not going to say you're not going to say key for Heisman, surely.
no, I don't. I think the NFL after this year is maybe a bit of a stretch. Now Barry and Brown, I think he will because I think his return ability in the NFL with the new kickoff rules are going to make him very attractive.
So I watched last night when it was 20-7, then it went 20-14, then it went 27-14. But I saw for real for the first time in scrimmage action this ludicrous looking new kickoff return.
I'm open-minded. I'm giving it a season, and then I'm going to have my opinion at the end of the season. So I'm open-minded.
But can we say the optics of it look awful?
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's
But
weird.
it's
Wait
been
till that
entertaining so
happens at
far.
the high school level.
It's not yet.
Gotta get to a break, and then we will have the Cougar Sports Report. It's Tobacco Bowl tonight. That kicks off. We recap the weekend sports. We got plenty ahead for you. Hang around here on In the Know, including day number 15 of Where's Quacky?
What do you call someone who puts your family's interests ahead of their own? Someone who takes time to listen without rushing you or passing judgment. Someone you can count on to help guide you through one of life's most difficult times. At Watkins Funeral Home, we call someone like that a friend of the family. For families making funeral arrangements in Litchfield, there's only one thing you need to know. You've got a friend at Watkins Funeral Home. For more information, visit us online at rogers-watkins.com.
Owensboro Health offers compassionate care for addiction recovery. Nurse practitioner Kristen Buck provides a foundation of recovery from alcohol, opioids, and other addictive substances. With inpatient detox and outpatient medical assisted treatment, you don't have to walk alone on the road to recovery. To learn more about Owensboro Health Addiction Services in Litchfield, Kentucky, call 270-230-0212 or visit owensborohealth.org/addiction-help.
Yellowwood knows that a five-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like cookouts. Cornhole with friends. Ooh, a neighborhood potluck with your wife's pasta salad. The one with the feta. Oh, sorry. Or taking a nap on your deck in a hammock. Naps are memories. I love naps. For five-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
75 years of fun and tradition is rolled up into the 75th Grayson County Fair, sponsored by Hometown Hangout. The fair gets underway Tuesday with Miss Grayson County, and for Tuesday admission only, get tickets online for just $7.50. The Big Demo Derby headlines Friday night, and the Truck and Tractor Pull anchors Saturday night. Then stand by for the Labor Day Parade Monday at 9:30. Join in the fun of the 75th Grayson County Fair, August 27th through 31st at the fairgrounds. For more info, visit GraysonCountyFair.net.
Get ready to wrap up the East Main Market season this Saturday. Kevin Jaggers begins at 5. Then at 8, welcome back J.D. Shelburne.
We got golden rods and Fort Knox and Big Red Off and Rock.
Free admission to East Main Market, and there will be vendors, food trucks, and a beer garden. Bring a chair and be ready for great live music on East Main and Litchfield.
The road I grew up on.
The 2024 East Main Market season concludes this Saturday night with J.D. Shelburne.
This small town might not look like much, just corner stores and rusty trucks.
If you've signed up for a streaming service, cell phone, or website, you've probably signed away your right to take that company to court and don't even realize it. The terms of service for almost all subscriptions or product services in today's world include clauses agreeing to take any complaints against the company to arbitration. In arbitration, cases are heard outside the U.S. public court system, often in secret and overseen by retired judges or lawyers. Ford says it's holding off on its all-electric SUV plan and will instead focus on hybrid technologies. The car company is the second biggest electric vehicle maker in the U.S. It's been working on an all-electric family-size SUV. It's now shifting gears, though, to a hybrid version of that SUV. Microsoft says Windows users will be able to test its controversial feature, Recall AI, in October. The feature uses AI that's built into Windows 11 to take screenshots of pretty much everything you do on your computer and then store them in a searchable database. When it does come out, the database will be encrypted, and you'll be able to opt out instead of Recall AI being a default setting. Tech Report, Tammy Trujillo, NBC News.
Today is Hug Your Sweetheart Day. I'll get to you later. It's Buttered Corn Day.
Not the Pringle kind, though, right?
No, just the buttered corn by itself. Ride the Wind Day. Don't confuse that. It's not Break the Wind Day. It's Ride the Wind Day. Tomorrow, Peach Pie Day. Tomorrow, Waffle Day. A little peaches maybe on your waffle with some little whipped cream or something. I don't know.
Just peaches.
Weather Complaint Day is tomorrow. Can Opener Day is tomorrow. Sunday Kiss and Makeup Day. And then Sunday is also Secondhand Wardrobe Day.
Wow.
That's also known as thrifting. You can go out and
yes.
get a secondhand wardrobe
Absolutely.
and looking
Fix you up.
all taken care of. Vandalay Industries will hook you up.
Yes, actually.
Hook you right up. Today is day number 15 of Where's Quacky. So here momentarily we're going to be 75% of the way through Where's Quacky, and we're at the top of the stretch heading for home. So make sure you finish strong in Where's Quacky next week. But we need to tell you yesterday, Heather Hawkins knew that she knew, along with many people knew, that Quacky spent the day at the Clarkson Elementary School playground. Is that correct, Sam?
Yeah. I felt like you'd recognize that. You've been there once or twice.
I sit by it a lot.
I was going to say, I felt like there was even a chance that you were there that day.
There's an outside shot that I could have been there that day, but that's part. It's right adjacent to the queue, the pickup line queue. So we spend some time there, and you can like look out your window and you say, "Oh, there that is." So very colorful, very vibrant, and we are at we're at 1,047 ducks so far. So we got a lot of ground to make up in the final week because we're still just over halfway there, but we're three-quarters of the way through our time.
Somebody needs to buy two right now, so we're at least at 1,049.
Yeah, I agree with that. Feel very strongly about that, in fact. Heather Hawkins has a duck now in the Ducking Hunger Regatta. Heather, you may win $1,000 on Labor Day, so congratulations to you. And now, here is day number 15 of Where's Quacky. You'll find this photograph on our Facebook page. It's posted by itself. Don't do it on the show thread here. And then you will tell us in the comment section where Quacky is spending the day for day number 15 of the Ducking Hunger Regatta.
Think you know?
Well, I mean, I can narrow it down to probably maybe 7, 8 different places. I mean, on my screen, I can't see any context that
Right.
separates one,
From another.
that eliminates
Right.
the 7. You say, well, it can't be that one, it can't be that one. Now, I think there are some likelihoods. I think it's like, it's likely to be these 3 or perhaps even these 2. But I don't know for certain. So in the comment section, you tell us, and then on Monday, we may announce you as the latest winner in the Ducking Hunger Regatta. But most importantly, let your fingers do the walking to gc-alliance.com or point your phone at any QR code, not any QR code, a QR code that you see relative to the Ducking Hunger Regatta, and then you can adopt your ducks there, and that will be that. So thanks for your help. As you've been hearing for the last, school's back in session, of course, and we know fall sports are about to be in full swing. We've had other programs that are underway, but tonight the high school football season kicks off, and there's no better way to do that than with the Tobacco Bowl. and Grayson County High School will host the Edmonson County Wildcats coming to town tonight. So, Sam, all the weeks and months of preparation and begins tonight.
Yes, it's the 48th Tobacco Bowl. And this is the 51st season of Grayson County football. So you got to think that there's only been twice that they have not played. It was during COVID and then one time in the 80s. So this has been the most consistent rivalry game by far in the history of Grayson County football.
Interestingly enough, though, in a moment you're going to tell me about a streak going on. Like there is a streak in the series. But when you learn of that streak, it might surprise you how close the record is between the two. In fact, Edmonson County holds the edge going into the 48th meeting by 1. So Grayson County tonight could pull even in the all-time meeting.
Correct. Edmonson leads the all-time series 24-23. In fact, Grayson has never led this series. And the series has never been tied. It's not been tied since it was 6-6, and that was in the 80s.
Okay.
So it's Grayson County has a chance to do that, but they've won 5 straight. The Cougars have in the series. They've held the tobacco stick for 6 years because, as I mentioned, COVID, they didn't have a game. So a win tonight would match the longest win streak, 6 in a row, by one team in this series, which Edmonson did in the 90s.
And that was a period of time when, it was in your high school days, hon, but it was a period of time where, considering Grayson County nearly abandoned the football program. They nearly shut down the football program in the mid to late 90s because it was so bad. It was 1-9 and 0-10, and it was just, we were not producing at the lower levels. The lower levels didn't turn into competitive varsity teams. Muhlenberg South did that for a while. So it was seriously considered, especially when you lose to your rival 6 years in a row. But now kind of the tails have turned on that, and both teams are coming off of almost mirror image seasons. The Cougars finished at 10-2.
Yep, second time in program history that Grayson County had won 10 games. The last time was 1982, which is, arguably, I don't even know that it's arguably, the best team in program history. They went to the Final Four that year. Edmonson County went 2-9. They had the fun task of playing in their first round playoff game against a team named Mayfield. You may have heard of them before, who ended up winning 2A state last year. So, you can read into that what you want. But so Edmonson was 2-9, Grayson County was 10-2 last year.
So what we've gone through a series now of that's been a familiar refrain with Edmonson County for the last few years, and having that record, and they're having trouble clawing back to being competitive. Is there anything we can deduce from that? Is there anything you can point to that is it a numbers thing?
Yes. I mean, I don't know that there's any. It's just, all of these county schools go through this. Just like you mentioned, Grayson County, heck, about 10 years ago or so, they went through a 3 or 4 year stretch where it was a little bit of a struggle as well. So this is just kind of how it goes. You mentioned the 90s for Grayson County. It happens, and that was after a peak in the 80s. So it's kind of the thing with these valleys. And then it also doesn't help that they've had 4 coaches in the last 6 years. So they had Nathan Smith, Ed Smart. Then they went to last year, their coach's name was Zach Vincent, and now they have a new head coach this year. So that doesn't help either when you have so much turnover at the top of the program to build underneath.
And we can save the causation conversation for another day, but I just want to share the thought that ran through my mind is that it obviously has been a small school. Like when we sit and compare our graduating classes and the number of classmates she had in her class, the number of classmates I had in mine, you're already dealing with a small community, smaller student body. And then when you fractionalize, like I see where their soccer program, their soccer program is getting better. Like there's some other non-Big Three sports that are evolving. And anytime you take a student out of one and into another, I don't care if it's just 2 or 3 kids on a school that size, it has a big difference. Now, I don't know that anyone playing soccer would have played football had they not chosen. I don't know that, but I'm just saying the more you diversify your offering of sports, it has to. Those sports are competing for players, and so I'd say lots of schools are facing that as a possibility.
I know a lot of, and I don't particularly like this part of high school sports that has happened now, is a lot of coaches, and I'm not accusing Edmondson of this at all because it happens everywhere, are trying to get kids to specialize in one sport instead of playing everything. And I'm very much of the mentality of is you're in high school. In 20 years, you'll look back and say, man, I really wish I played football and not just basketball. Or I really wish I would have played baseball too, or I wish I would have played soccer, or I wish I would have run cross country. You know, all of those different aspects with it. Heck, I wish I would have marched in the marching band. You know, you will regret those things. And I know Edmondson has had, I mean, their most successful program of the most recent years has been basketball and baseball. They've had both really solid teams going back to the region tournament. And one of the things is kids want to play for teams that have success. And that's one of the things that Grayson County's seeing is their numbers starting to grow because who doesn't want to play for a team that goes 10-2?
Yeah. Winning creates winning.
Correct.
And I understand why even parents advocate if you focus on baseball, maybe you'll get there. But I will tell you, there is a huge number. If you measure the ranks of professional athletes in the big three, big four, add soccer, add five, you can add hockey, you'll find that the overwhelming majority of professional athletes excelled at multiple sports. They just eventually got to a point, collegiately or something, they had to choose one. And in some cases, you had people who played collegiately both, and then they got drafted by one, but then still played another.
Yeah, and I love the KHSA every year does what they call their Triple Threat Award. And that is an award given out to players who play a fall, winter, and spring sport.
I like that.
To be rewarded.
Yes, and I like that because it just shows that these are the kids who are dedicated, who are really good athletes, and not saying that the other kids aren't dedicated, but just that they're playing everything, and it's a really cool award that they do.
So a lot of ground to cover. Obviously, new team, new look, coming off a 10-2 season, historic season, obviously, setting new milestones, but a lot of leadership went out the door on graduation day. And Grayson County not really in a position to just reload like some of the biggest programs can, but trying to hold on to a core group and then bring some new kids along. There are some names we recognize, though, Sam.
Yeah, you're going to have your starting quarterback back, Colby Chaffins. He passed for over 1,000 yards. Then you have reigning District Player of the Year, Caden Hanshaw, who accounted for over 1,400 all-purpose yards last year. And then Grayson Chaffins is back as well. Again, thank goodness he got it from his mom's side, his talent. Clearly everything came from her.
That's where the height comes from, surely.
Yeah, well, yeah. So he is a senior, which, again, I remember when he came into the studio one time when I was hosting with Norman, and I think he was in 6th or 7th grade, and now I'm like, oh, you're a senior. Now
I've seen this child
I-
have a big wheel in the front yard, okay? Listen.
And now he's a
Happy
senior.
birthday on Monday. Yeah. Mhm.
Time marches on. Lost the top three tacklers, of course. Lost 4 starters on the offensive line. And speaking of the sheriff, I talked with him a couple of days ago, and he said that their struggles so far have just been fundamental, blocking and tackling. And if the blocking and tackling will come along, then that will solve a whole lot of their problems.
But the best part about that is, really quick, I'll say, is those are fixable issues.
Yes.
Like sometimes Grayson County has it, and it's just like, they're just not good. Like, you know, or a team is just like, you're just not good enough. This team can be good as the season goes along.
Justin Vessels is the new head coach at Edmondson County, but he has a heritage with the program in multiple ways.
Yeah, he played under Rick Wood, and then he was also an assistant under someone, I think, Kyle Pierce. I don't know if you know him at all.
Heard that name a time or two.
I think he's even been on the show before.
I think he has, yeah.
So, yes, he was assistant under him.
Wow.
What's that?
Okay. Coach Rick, wow.
Yes,
Okay.
so he played under him. I think he graduated maybe 01 from Edmondson.
Okay.
And he was an assistant at Barron County prior to coming to Edmondson.
And so now there's a Barron County connection. You've got the new starting, the QB1 came from Barron County?
Tristan Muse is starting quarterback. So he was at Barron where his dad was the head coach. His dad no longer the head coach at Barron County. He is now the defensive coordinator at Edmondson County. Tristan has not thrown any career passes for Barron County. But same thing like we talked about with Grayson, bigger school, maybe a little more talent there. Maybe he just was hiding behind and there was just more quarterback talent in front of him. So we don't really know what we're going to be seeing from Tristan Muse tonight.
But big shoes to fill in their backfield. You take 3,100 yards off the field, and you got a vacuum.
Yeah, Michael Mills was their running back, really, I think, since Bill Clinton was president. I think that's how it feels like for Grayson County fans, and he's was a really good running back. Rushed for nearly 3,100 yards in his career, pretty much a 4-year starter. So they're looking to a trio, Garrett Lyons, Carter Swihart, and Blaine DeWeese, as kind of trying to figure out which one of those guys will try to fill the massive shoes of Michael Mills, because he was a great player.
Like to use this opportunity each week to look back over the week and also give some love and some pub to the other athletes who are on the field and out working hard. Volleyball started off really well this week.
Yeah, they picked up a win against Davis County on Monday, so they started off with that. We got some pictures on K105.com, and then they lost to Apollo on Tuesday. They're going to be playing the Apollo Summer Slam today at the Owensboro Convention Center. So they'll play against South Warren and Muhlenberg County tonight, and then they'll play Allen County Scottsville tomorrow. That's in pool play. And then they make a bracket from that, and then they'll play a couple of games tomorrow afternoon as well. So if you're looking for something to do in the Owensboro area tonight, that's a cool event that they do at the Convention Center there downtown.
Week 1 of the high school football season tonight, but the Lady Cougars soccer team already has 5 matches in the books. Correct,
because soccer started 2 weeks ago. So it started, or I guess last Monday was when they got to start. This week they beat Edmondson 2-1 on a game on K105 Digital Productions, and then they beat Butler County last night 10-2. They're at Muhlenberg on Monday before hosting Breck on Tuesday.
On the boys' side, I see here on my notes that they kissed their sister on Tuesday.
Yeah, they tied Owensboro Catholic, which was 0-0 tie, but I know that they were very pleased with the performance there against a traditional solid team, obviously from the 9th District, and then they lost to Marion County. Last night, they traveled to, they actually play their soccer matches in Collegiate down at the park there on Tuesday against Edmondson before hosting Butler County on Friday.
I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
We've been to a birthday party there. Yeah.
I guess, is there a park down there in Collegiate?
Yeah, there is.
It's nice.
It's next to South Edmondson Elementary School.
Okay, I think I've driven past that.
Yeah. Cougar Golf. Tell me about Jackson Mays.
Yeah, he's been playing really well to lead the boys. Brindley Cox has paced the girls on that side. And then give a shout out to 5th grader Mason Day. He shot a 44 from the varsity tees on Wednesday. 5th grader.
Wow.
And I do know that I think that is some kin to former K105 crew member Chase Blaine.
Oh, that would.
And according to Chase, he taught him everything he knows.
Which school?
Grayson County, Mason Day, the 5th grader. Oh, I don't know which elementary school. Do you know?
I was asking.
If it's Chase's family, I would assume Caneyville.
Yeah,
but
I think that's likely, but we don't know that.
I don't know that for a fact.
Someone will let us know. I was hung up back here on Brindley. Brindley comes from good golf stock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's it's in the genes a little bit, isn't it?
Absolutely. Cross country Warren East Twilight Run is coming up.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. Girls at 6:30, boys at 7. So they run under the lights there at the park by Warren East. I can't remember what that's called. It's the one right there by Warren East. So it's Twilight Run.
So, the GCHS 50 event was a couple of weekends ago, and it is one of a series of events like the Labor Day Parade, and there'll be something at Christmas that'll commemorate the GCHS 50. But I think one of the aims for your Cougar Conversations this season is kind of a where are they now? Maybe talking with some former administrators or some people that you might like to hear from over the last 50 years. But you're going to kind of kick that off tonight with current administrator Lacey Cox.
Yeah, we had a good conversation with her yesterday. Talked a little bit about back to school, about the events coming up. I know she kind of put a call out. They need some help here coming up in a couple of weeks, so make sure you watch on halftime. And if you're going to the game tonight, we'll have that on our YouTube channel tomorrow that you'll be able to go back and rewatch it. We got some good pictures in there as well.
All right, so locker room show at what time?
6:30 tonight on K105, and subscribe to the K105 YouTube channel. You can watch that.
Got some neat new things. Got an MVP program we're doing tonight. I know you'll tell us all about during coverage. So anyway, looking forward to it. High school football season, week number 1 gets underway. tonight and here on K105. Got to get to a break. We'll come back at the water cooler question. Hang around here on In the Know. Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a future designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
I'm Deputy Eric Franklin with the Grayson County Sheriff's Department.
And I'm Officer Skaggs from Litchfield Police Department.
When working traffic in Grayson County, responding to crashes involving deaths or injuries is the toughest part of our job.
When you drive, there's so much out of your control.
But what you do have control over is wearing a seatbelt.
Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up.
Why do we enforce seatbelt laws?
It's not about writing tickets. It's about saving lives.
Always. Buckle up.
A message from Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Struggling to pay your house payment? Apply for the Team Kentucky Homeowner Assistance Fund today at protectmykyhome.org. It provides up to $60,000 for Kentuckians with a COVID-related financial hardship. The money can be used for mortgage bills, utility payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, and HOA fees. Applicants must meet certain criteria to receive assistance. Check your eligibility today at protectmykyhome.org. This ad was sponsored by Kentucky Housing Corporation and this station.
On the basketball court, you have to know where the lines are. It's just as important to know where the lines are in your own yard. Kentucky law generally requires you to have underground utility lines located before most excavation work, even if it's on your own property. If you don't call 811 and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate you and you may be fined up to $1,250. Much better to stay within the bounds of the law and call before you dig to start putting in that backboard or goalpost. For more information, visit psc.ky.gov. This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather. Sunny for your Friday with highs in the 80s across the region and slightly higher humidity. Once we get into tomorrow, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. We're expecting more of those 90s on Sunday as we keep the sunshine around. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by ECTC's Litchfield campus. Your next onboarding opportunity for ECTC Litchfield will be October 21st. So you got plenty of time now. You got more than 7 weeks to get your schedule figured out, get your financial aid figured out, get your course schedule, etc. And I would encourage you to take the public speaking course, because if you do, you'll end up being able to be just like me.
I found public speaking to be fun, so.
I thought you were saying because you'd maybe have Barry as your professor.
Well, yeah. He's clearly old enough to have been my professor and teach me all the public speaking, so.
No, I was saying that's the reason they should take it, to have him as his. I was not calling him old. I need to make sure he's here on Monday.
That was my inference, was to have him in the public speaking course. ECTC really Litchfield wants to know, did you know the word Australia has 3 A's and they all 3 are pronounced differently?
Yeah.
And everybody in there
just went Australia. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That is absolutely right. But I'd never really considered it before. 3 A's and all of them spell or pronounced differently. Here's today's water cooler question. If you or your household have not won in the last 30 days and you're 18 years of age or older, you qualify to win. Up for grabs today, tickets to see Aaron Tippin and Kyle Whitaker at the amphitheater on September 7th. Yeah, that's what we said, September 7th. Grayson County Tourism bringing Aaron Tippin. They got that brand new stage ready to be the week after Labor Day, and a great way to spend the evening down the holler, as we call it, and you'll have a great time. 2 tickets up for grabs. You're going to text your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. You'll do this 1,500 times this year if you're average.
Oh, gosh.
You'll do this 1,500 times this year if you're average. 1,500 times. That would be 1,000 to the 500. Sam's busy writing. I can see he's jotting it down right now. Okay, that's all the time you get, Sam. We got to move on
Oh,
to
good.
the weekend movie premieres. The weekend movie premieres new at the box office today, and getting into the weekend. There are 3 of them, and you can tell I'm stretching time until I find my list. Blink Twice. Blink Twice is new. It is an R-rated mystery thriller. Christian Slater is in it. Channing Tatum is also in it. Tomato meter is 80%. The Crow is also out. That's Bill Skarsgård, and there's no tomato meter reading yet. It's an R-rated action fantasy movie. And then starring Karen Abercrombie, from the Abercrombie and Fitch fortune, I presume, is starring in The Forge. It is a PG drama. After graduating high school without any plans for the future, Isaiah receives a push to start making better life decisions. Oh, that old tale is old as time. All right, that's what's new at the box office this weekend. I have really been enjoying Hard Knocks, and I wasn't necessarily sure why. And then I heard Rick Burgess mention yesterday morning that for some reason on this year's Hard Knocks, there's not any cussing. And so that has led people to wonder, are they editing all that out? Like, clearly they edit it, they choose it, there's not bleeps, there's not. We'll come to find out that was a conscious decision. Chicago Bears banned profanity this season out of respect for team owners. So they said the Furman, who's with the team, said, is the director of the series, Shannon Furman, said, I'll be honest, this team curses much less than any other team that I've been around, but it is out of respect for the McCaskey family. So
that's cool.
So good for them. I also read this morning that Lexington, Kentucky has the honor of being the least swearing of all U.S. cities. Now, of course, you have to be, of a certain level. But it says the polite people of Lexington, Kentucky have reason to cheer. They were found to swear the least of all U.S. cities. Maryland beat out everyone for the top potty mouth state on the list, followed by Louisiana and Georgia. Maryland. Now, if you have to drive in D.C. traffic, you'd cuss too. Lots.
Well, yeah.
Can you believe that there is someone more popular on planet Earth than Taylor Swift? An Indian singer named Arijit Singh has more followers than Taylor Swift. 118.8 million. Now, that's just on one platform. But I would have figured that Taylor Swift had most followers on all the platforms.
Really, though?
So
that's weird.
But it shows you how big the country of India is. I mean, there's after China. They're number 2. They're number 2. Tom Brady is celebrating his son Jack's 17th birthday, and some people on the internet are saying that they look exactly alike, and I disagree. He is a handsome young man, but he does not look. You totally disagree?
Yes, I mean they do not look alike.
They don't look alike.
I mean, I think they look like father and son, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they look.
I think they look no more like any other father and son. I think if you look at me, you'll see some similarities in mine, especially when I'm thinner. But
the chin, I think the chin is where they look similar.
I think so you got a little
chiseled
chin there.
Yeah.
Again, good-looking kid, but I don't think that he's like a carbon copy of.
Maybe the cheekbones, definitely not the nose.
Of dear old dad. You can see that he's got, there's some Giselle in there, but another generation of the Brady family there. So good for them. All right, we've got to get to a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up for the week. But first, we will figure out who won the water cooler question. We will have a point to ponder. We will have a pearl of wisdom, and we'll do some chart toppers for you too. Hang around here on In the Know.
As you grow older, keeping your brain healthy will become an important part of enjoying a fulfilling lifestyle. Fortunately, there's some things you can do to maintain a healthy mind throughout life. Hi, I'm Jim Daly. According to Focus on the Family's Physician Resource Council, the first step is to get active and stay active. Exercise promotes good blood flow to the brain, which research shows can stimulate production of new brain cells. Both of these outcomes help slow natural decline. Second, Eat a healthy diet. The same dietary issues that contribute to cholesterol, clogged arteries, in the heart can also raise the risk of problems such as stroke. Most experts recommend food that's rich in antioxidants and that can help maintain a healthy weight. Next, stay connected. Being socially engaged reduces stress and provides protection against dementia. Opportunities can be found in many places, including church, work, and volunteer projects. And finally, exercise your brain. Reading, writing, doing puzzles, playing memory games, learning an instrument, enrolling in a course at a local community college, these are all great ways to keep your mind active. Such mental activity appears to prevent the loss of brain cells and may even spur the formation of new ones. Few things are as precious as our health, so be proactive and boost your chances for maintaining a strong mind. It's worth the investment for you and your family. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Looking for exciting summer fun? Don't spend long hours in the car and a fortune on gas and travel. This summer, play close to home. Beach Bend Park, just minutes away in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Enjoy dozens of family rides, thrill rides, water slides, and more than 1 million gallons of water park fun in Splash Lagoon. Surf the waves, float the lazy river, splash and play on Tiki Island and our interactive attractions, or just relax in your own private cabana. Spend time on the rides, not standing in lines. Hop on the awesome Kentucky Rumbler Coaster for over a half mile of exciting twists and turns and enjoy classic rides, sure to please the whole family. Stay for daily shows, Gold Rush Golf, games, food and treats. Book the ultimate birthday party, group outing, or corporate event at Beach Bend. Check out our online calendar for Water Wednesdays and Friday Night Lights, featuring fireworks and special shows. At Beach Bend, parking and sunscreen are always free. So much fun, so close to home. Enter code FLASH24 online at beachbend.com and receive $20 off adult admission.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. What colorful nicknames have you given your neighbors? What colorful nicknames have you given your neighbors?
You got to be careful here.
I have decided.
Mom and Dad?
Mom and Dad that's one nickname for
We've
them.
had some neighbors, though.
Yeah, and I decided that's going to be last show stuff.
Yeah,
we talked about last show stuff. Yeah,
section.
I just will tell you, one of them is Mighty. Right? One of them is the name of Statler Brothers. No, Oak Ridge Boys song.
Yeah.
But that's none of our current neighbors. So,
No.
Sam, have you given your neighbors any nicknames?
In college, the apartment I lived in, there was a guy that lived next door who his dog's name was Maverick, but they called him Mavy. And he would, at all hours of the night, I guess he would never take Maverick out on a leash, so Maverick would run around the little yard, and you would just hear, Mavy! 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 So now I'm thinking of Mavy.
Oh, the good old days, right, Sam?
Yes.
Today's water cooler
something like that.
question was, you'll do this 1,500 times this year if you're average. Now, I was laughing during the break, and she wanted to know why I was laughing. Yesterday, it was something about you'll spend 48 hours this year doing this, and you wrote,
I can't remember. Yeah, I don't.
Pooping.
Pooping. Yeah, that
So
sounds right.
when I heard 1,500 times this year, I wondered if you were just going to keep your same answer as yesterday. That's what amused me.
That's what I.
So did you write
I
anything
did not
new?
write anything down, but yeah, I could keep that one. But I was going to go with eye roll. I'm way above average. I don't know.
Listen, if it's your answer from yesterday, someone better see a doctor.
That's true.
Sam?
I put go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom. Okay, well that could be a
That's
combination.
that's
of all
like
of them,
it's an average of about 4 times per day. So I feel like I'm a little low.
That's a cumulative total.
Uh-huh.
The correct answer is dream. Dream. You'll dream about 1,500 times a year if you're average. So I'll let you scan through all of the entries and tell
Do you
us
wanna-
if we have a winner.
1 to 4.
1 to 4. You want the honor?
3.
3, she said. By the way, that's the number I was going to pick. So
Great minds think alike. Then 7266.
7266. Congratulations. Enjoy Aaron Tippin. On TV tonight, Billy Joel, the 100th, live at Madison Square Garden. I've got it recorded, but be fun to watch again. NFL, Jaguars at Falcons, Dolphins at Buccaneers, 49ers at Raiders. Tomorrow, you'll get to see the $38 million flop on HBO. Kevin Costner spent $38 million on Horizon, an American Saga, and the Chapter 1 will be on HBO tomorrow. You'll see Tulsa King Sunday night, ODB, The Tale of Two Dirties on A&E on Sunday, and then the Titans at the Landons on Sunday night, or Sunday. Cardinals at Broncos, Patriots at Commanders. But tonight, across the channels of K105 Digital Productions, it's the granddaddy of them all, Sam. Some people would say it's the Rose Bowl, but au contraire, it's the Tobacco Bowl.
Yeah, it's much better than that. And there's Grace in there with you and quarterback Colby Chaffins.
All right. Chaffins and Chaffins.
Yes.
The law firm. Let's go. Let's see, here's today's highlight in history. In 1970, the Salad Bowl strike began, organized by farm labor leader Cesar Chavez. Look it up in your history books if you don't know. Barbara Eden is 93. Wow, I Dream of Jeannie is 93. Shelley Long is 75. I didn't like her on Cheers. I did not like the Diane character on Cheers. When Kirstie Alley came along as Rebecca, I just liked her so much more. Rick Springfield is 75. I don't know what age Jesse's girl has gotten to be yet, but Rick Springfield is 75. Jay Moore is 54. Scott Kahn is 48. Gone but not forgotten, Louis XVI in 1754, and Gene Kelly, Mr. Singing in the Rain, born in 1912.
Okay.
Let's get to a chart topper from 1953. Carl Smith is number 1. You'll be surprised to learn this song is named Hey Joe. Thank you, Carl. Most people are going to KSR in about 35 seconds, about 40 seconds, so be ready. Let's go to 1962. Little Eva, number 1. Kylie Minogue did it later. Grand Funk Railroad did it later. The Locomotion. Let's move forward to 1970s. 1971, pretty good year for myself and for Jean Knight. She went number 1 with Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? Oreo Big Stuff. See, she made money off of that. I presume she made money. Diana Ross, number 1 in 80 with Upside Down. Boy, you turn me inside out and round, upside down. Very good disco song from 1980. Let's go to 1989. Richard Marx was number 1 with Right Here Waiting. Talk about one of the best 80s hairdos. I mean, Richard Marx was rocking it. It was party on the top and party in the back. I mean, it was just... Look at him. I mean, come on, see?
Yes, I agree.
It's hard to compete with that. And in 1998, Aerosmith number 1. I don't want to miss a thing. Number one in 1998. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, Sam, have a good broadcast tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, we'll be watching.
Bring home a victory tonight.
Yep, I know they're having the Cougar Walk.
Everybody said hello.
Yes, we will do that. Cougar Walk is at 5:50 too. So if you get there early, Cougar Walk, you got to experience that last year, and it was pretty cool.
Indeed. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, if more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K105.